Welcome to Hot Button Hashtags. My name is Matt. When my mom was 5 months pregnant with me, my dad left. She had 2 other kids, and I don't think he was excited about having a third. And I just think, having another baby, I think there was a little too much responsibility. I don't think he was ready to be that old. He came back when I was 2, and everything seemed like it was great for, 9 years. And then he left again. Kind of hard to blame him because his upbringing was a little bit off. He was the youngest of 5 kids. Maybe he may very well have been the oldest of a certain number of kids. It's hard to say. It's kind of one of those scenarios where we're not entirely sure if my grandma was my grandma or my great-grandma. Like my aunt might have actually been my grandma. It's just a weird scenario. It's an older type family where you don't ask questions like that. Just leave things be. Just don't go digging. So my dad kind of got treated like an unwanted kind of extra, he sort of invited himself to dinner. That's never a good role to be in when you're a kid. My dad really never learned how to be a dad, at least not from his dad. So when it came time for him to be a dad, he didn't really know what he was doing. I mean, none of us really do. We're all just making it up as we go. My dad, he spent a lot of time teaching my older brother stuff. They were both really into cars, and he taught him how to shoot a gun. And, they bonded. I never had that with my dad. So pretty much everything that your dad teaches you, like how to tie a tie, how to throw a punch, how to change a tire, all that stuff, I kind of had to learn myself. As a result, I cannot throw a punch, and I don't know anything about cars. I ran into a problem with my car. Now, granted, I don't know a lot about cars, but I do know that if your car makes a grindy, scrapey noise every time you veer to the right, that's not a good thing. But if that grindy, scrapey noise stops when you turn left, that's okay. I don't really know how to fix that. I don't know what to do. I don't even have a mental image of the inside of the wheel to even think, oh, maybe it's the crisper flake. I just don't even know. I made that up. I think maybe I'm craving biscuits secretly. I decided, you know what? Hey, my dad didn't teach me, but I gotta figure this out. I can't wait around for my dad to teach me about cars, because he's dead. So I decided to take a crack at it. Popped the wheel off, looked around for anything that looked like it might not be right. There was an awful lot, but more specifically, there was this little plate that was really rusty, and it looked like it had been really bent up. It looked like the kind of thing that might scrape if I were to turn right. But I flattened it, I made it right, or as right as I could. Then I put the wheel back on, and I got in my car, and now I'm testing it, I guess. And guess what? It doesn't scrape when I turn right. Just because you don't know what you're doing doesn't mean you can't fix something. My car just made a really funny noise that it didn't used to make when I took off. Maybe I gotta fix that now too. I don't know. Maybe I'll just live with it for a little while. I'm pretty good at that. At some point in your life, you have to stop letting your excuses rule your life. I'm overweight. I'm afraid of water. I'm kind of lazy. I don't know about cars. That was my excuse for driving around in a car that made a scrapey noise when I turned right. But today I decided I wasn't going to let that excuse rule my life anymore. So, took a crack at it. And now my car sounds perfectly fine when I turn right. It makes weird squealy noises when you take off. Maybe that's a problem for another day. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't whine about my crappy dad. I have to fix things on my own. I got to figure things out. If I keep letting my excuses rule my life, then guess what? I'm going to be a crappy dad. And then my son is going to be a crappy dad. And my grandson is going to be a crappy dad. I don't want to foster a line of crappy dads. I'd like to leave a legacy of responsibility. And that's hard. Sometimes you have to jack up the car and you have to take the wheel off, even though you don't know what you're looking for. And sometimes it goes well. Sometimes the car stops making scrapey noises. Sometimes it doesn't go so well, and you have to get a new car. Crossing my fingers that everything's okay. So far it is. Test drive is going quite well. Thanks for watching, and if you have some advice on scrapey, turny car sounds, leave them in the comments.